is that data has continued to grow. I don't think there's anybody here at this table who is reading less, tweeting less, blogging less, or any of these things compared to 2008, compared to 2007. And so we have more and more places to get information, more and more updates from more people using more services, and we're all expected to get it in the same amount of time because the sun and the earth still have the exact same measurements that they did last year, last I checked. So we have this problem. Some people call it information overload, some people call it filter failure. But what's clear is we're not having that opportunity to get to everything as fast as we wanted and to give everything the kind of attention that we used to. And so I started hearing about My6Sense at the beginning of this year. My6Sense said, you know what, we have something called digital intuition. Maybe it's a little better than a tool intuition or Lewis intuition. Those are good for us. But for you, you want to rely on your own benefits, your own preferences. And so now we have this opportunity. You take a look at some of the major information sources. Let's talk about four. Four major information sources for me include Google Reader for RSS, FriendFeed for many different social networks in one place, Twitter for microblogging, and Facebook for social networks with people I used to know, or my family. I would say that's a little different. It's like Facebook is who I used to hang out with, LinkedIn is who I used to work with, and then there's FriendFeed and Twitter in the middle. So each one of them has come out with something to try and find the very best information. FriendFeed called it Best of Day, and for those of you who use that service, you can click on Best of Day and see those items that have gotten the most comments, the most likes, and have popped to the top of your feed. Twitter last week did something very important, the last couple weeks, called lists. And with lists, I can hand select people, give them essentially a tag, if I say tech or PR or social media influencers, and give them a list. And that gives me an implicit approval of their content. And I can see something that is more relevant than the massive stream that's coming in, right? Google Reader introduced something called Magic. And so for those of you who use Google Reader, you can sort your filters in a number of ways, one of which is oldest to newest. So the oldest data is at the top. You might want to do this to find out who broke a story first, so that you don't see the 10th item before you see the first item. Some people will sort newest to oldest. You get the most new information first. And the third and the newest is what they call Magic. And Magic essentially is supposed to take your own preferences and show you what they think is going to be the best. So for me, I've been using Google Reader for 3 years. I read 20,000 items a month. Just go through and share about maybe 500 or 700 of those items. And so you'd think that they would have the very best read on me. They've got so much data on me. So I was excited when this came out. I took a look at it. And what they figured out was that I like Google. My concern is they probably told everybody they like Google. And they popped everything up to Google about the top. I look at My6Sense, and I've been doing this even before I started working with them, so it's great to know that this is factual. It's not some guy who's biased. I took a look at the My6Sense product, and they were able to show me not only that I liked Google, they knew that I liked PubSub Hubbub, they knew that I liked social media, they knew that I liked things that were more recent, they correctly analyzed what kind of sources that I liked the best, so I didn't have to start seeing things that I liked least, and it's perfect for the platform of the iPhone.